Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to some EVE Online, and yes, we are mining a little bit, so we are going to take a look at another dev blog. After like a week without any news, CCP did give us a new dev blog, although it's just an overview of what's coming in the Crius release, so it's not like we get any new information, but it could be interesting just to take a look at what's coming in Crius, introducing what's in EVE's big industry release, which should be in like 3 weeks or something like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this. First of all, of course, you already saw me covering this from the test server. A new experience for manufacturing, research, blueprint copying, invention and reverse engineering. All of this will be in a single manufacturing window, which looks like the screenshot right here. I've tested this out. It's a major improvement compared to what you have to do now. Everything is visible in that one window. You almost don't have to go look at the individual blueprint to find information, for instance, on how many copies you can take and stuff like that. It's a lot more functional. Everything is in one place, and I personally love this change. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how everything works out. In fact, one thing that I had not noticed just yet, but that should be available, I'll have to look that up, is there should be an easy way to see how much estimated value your input materials will be and how much the estimated value of your output will be. So that does mean that you should have, with just a glance at the window, an indication of whether or not the job you're planning to do is actually worth it. So I think that yeah, this has a lot of potential, I think, to make people that do industry a lot very happy, although it still has its problems as well. But let's hope that CCP can take care of all the feedback and all the problems that people do find while testing this feature. Dynamic pricing across the universe, so limitations on slots for science and industry jobs in stations will be removed in Crius. Instead of the cost of running jobs are affected by the amount of activity in a solar system that competes for the same workforce, the kind of facility you choose, and a number of other factors that you can make decisions about. These changes were introduced in the dev blog, so you get a link to the dev blog about the teams, basically, where you'll actually have a job cost related to a lot of different facets, but the major one is how much industry is going on in that solar system. Traveling worker teams, Crius brings a new way to affect the result of science and industry jobs by recruiting specialized teams to the systems you are in. These teams bring their knowledge and skills to affect the outcome of jobs. So you can have like more material efficiency because of using a specific team. You can have faster production time, smaller costs, I think, is also a possible bonus for using one of these teams. But overall, it's going to be interesting. I think a lot is going to depend on whether or not, well, actually it's all in a market mechanic. So from what I've seen on the test so far, these teams don't give huge bonuses that are really going to completely change the bottom line. You know, it's not because you have a team that adds like 1.5% material efficiency for frigates that you're all of a sudden not going to produce battleships or anything like that anymore. So it's going to depend on the cost, but of course the cost depends on the bidding that happens. So this should balance itself out as well, and maybe if it's not such a big bonus, even a smaller corporation will have a chance to actually bid on one of these teams and try to specialize himself, try to get an edge in a certain product. This is a little bit of a wait and see. There's like no bidding wars or anything like that going on test server. So that is really one thing that we'll have to wait for the release on TQ before we know what kind of effect these specialized teams are actually going to have. If it's going to be a big effect or not. Personally, at the moment, if I look at the test server, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Next up, reprocessing renewed. I don't think anyone can have a problem with this. It's going to be instant, it's all going to be in a single window, and that's looking a lot better. You get right away you get a nice view of what you're putting in and what you're getting out of it, and it's going to be instant, so that's yeah, pretty damn good, honestly. This is a nice little change. Of course, there are some changes to the yields and stuff that are being introduced here as well. A lot of these have to do with these extra materials that CCP has to work in now into blueprints in order to avoid the creation of minerals out of reprocessing of a certain good. But overall, I think this will work out. And yeah, there will be some room now as well for both reprocessing and compressing in HiSec, so that's pretty good. Blueprints and research are getting changed quite a little bit as well. Instead of being able to research them infinitely for an ever decreasing advantage in, let's say, material or time efficiency, they now have a scale from 1 to 10 for material efficiency, and I think it's 1 to 20 for time efficiency. Once you reach 10 on material efficiency, you have basically a perfect blueprint, something that was impossible to reach in the current system of the research, but it's going to take quite a little bit of time, and all the blueprints are getting converted. Now, people that have already invested time in getting like 300 or 400 material efficiency on a blueprint are going to be cut back to a 10 material efficiency blueprint, but overall with this transaction their blueprint still improves because they get that final little tidbit of titanium in advantage from changing the blueprint to what is considered a perfect one with the absolute best possible bonus for material efficiency. Star bases get a number of new benefits for industrial activity and will be easiar to build all over New Eden. So here again, with the changes to blueprints, some people feel like they've wasted a lot of time researching blueprints to very high material efficiency levels. A little bit understandable, but honestly I think if you accept that your blueprint actually improves compared to what it is now, nobody should really complain about this. And then next up we have star bases. A lot of people are indeed complaining about the grind that they have done towards the reputation needed to put a POS in HiSec. For that, I do feel personally that CCP should maybe try and provide an extra benefit for the people that have done this rep, maybe like an extra bonus on the POS, but yeah, so far I've not seen anything in the plans for that. But yeah, I do understand that right there it's actually a little bit of past activity, past time spent that goes completely to waste because of this change. But who knows, you know, if maybe like they can have an influence on the tax that you do by putting the POS in the right empire where you have a high reputation for. This could be something that might just help out a little bit. Who knows? Maybe it happens sometime later. I don't think it's planned for the Crius release though. Dynamic station sound. So this get a little bit of an update as well. First time I read about this. New API endpoints for industry features. Obviously that's all about the guys that are creating tools that are going to help them. I don't use that, so can't really tell you a lot about that. Fleet warp out, that's just a nice little thing that they're adding here if you're in a fleet, but you don't want to take all the fleet warps for some reason, like you're flying a Titan, let's say. You can always opt out now with a simple right click from the fleet window somewhere. So that's yeah, something that is going to help some people out as well. Feed modules without having the required skill. For modules and rigs, you can, for instance, prepare a doctrine ship, prepare hundreds of them because you can actually fit them, and then make them available for your alliance. For instance, this is going to help people that actually prepare fleet ships in larger corporations and alliances quite a little bit, because now you no longer need the skill in order to already have it completely fitted. At the moment you could already do this with rigs through a roundabout way. You know, if you don't have the skill, you can actually just ask someone else to fit the rig and then give the ship back, and then you've got that. So this is just going to simplify things a lot for people that put a lot of time into fitting ships for other people. So I think this is not a bad thing. Overall, my feelings on Crius I think it's going to be interesting, and oops, looks like one of the asteroids here is actually done, so let's just grab another one. My overall feeling is it's going to be an interesting time concerning the industry changes. I do like the new window. That's definitely my favorite part here. This looks very functional and exactly what industrialists are going to need. It has some drawbacks as well, and by now, honestly, I feel like none of this is really new anymore. You know, we've known about this. At first it was planned for Chronos, then it gets delayed towards the Crius release. Understandable, because CCP wants to get this as right as possible. Yeah, basically we know most of this already, and I'm very curious now to see what their next steps are. So I can't really wait to finally get some first information on the release after Crius even. These ones, yeah, they're gonna have a major impact, but as we've seen from the EVE talks on minerals and on ships and everything, most of that has already been calculated, and so now it's more of, well, it's going to come, people are going to have to make certain changes to adapt, but most people that follow these blogs already know what to expect, what they're going to do. You know, I need to buy a POS in the next 3 weeks or so if I want to go this industry route, and then you can already decide if you want a compression array or not, if you want reprocessing array. Maybe if you want to specialize in small ships, get a couple of small assembly arrays going and all of that stuff. But you can already perfectly prepare for the Crius release. I'd say 95% of all information is already out there. So yeah, all of this, it's very interesting, and I'm very curious to see what the actual impact is going to be on EVE Online when it hits. But on a personal note, I am very curious to see what their next steps are going to be. Especially what I would like to know more about is, well, the new lead game designer, I think, or one of those really high up guys, said that they want to make nullsec outposts destructible, yeah, they want to increase the sandbox, they want to add new systems. All of that should be in the planning, and we should get more and more information that starts to head towards that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to more information on what's coming after Crius, because honestly for Crius we pretty much know what's coming. Anyways, that's it guys, a look at this dev blog, what's coming in Crius. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all next time.